Welcome to Sarah Lottie's. For today's workout, you'll need a Pilates ball and a set of light dumbbells. Let's go ahead and get started. We can start seated on your mat, and we're going to start lying down today. So slowly curling yourself down. You can come down to one side, forearms can come down, pressing your feet onto the mat and letting your head lie nice and heavy, pelvis nice and heavy in the mat. Feet are about hip width distance apart, palms can face down. Relax shoulders down your back and then tiptoe your fingertips just a little bit closer to your heels, feeling that retraction in your shoulders. You're going to press into your heels, scooping up from the low core. Lift your hips up nice and slow for 4. For 3, hold them up high in 2 and 1. Hips are going to hold up here. Exhale, let's draw those fingertips up overhead. Finding an inhale, hands can come up and behind your body. On your exhale, find a rotation. Palms are pressing down towards the earth and then drawing along towards your side. We'll keep the hips up here. We'll find 2 more just like that with the arms, just starting to wake up our shoulders and finding that rotator cuff. So on that exhale, palms flip around. You might be finding that your shoulders are a little bit stickier on one side than the other. Totally normal. For me, my left side is a little bit more stubborn than my right side, and that is okay. Your palms might flip at a slightly different time. Let's hold up with fingertips up in the air and scoop those hips up one more time. Pressing shoulder blades into the mat. We're going to find some alternating heel raises. Lifting left heel up, and then inhale, dropping it down. Exhale, right heel comes up, and then inhale, dropping it down. Just finding that rhythm, being mindful hips are not lifting and lowering. They're staying nice and stable here. We're warming up that back side, not only of your legs, but also of your spine, and really squeezing that lower core here. Let's hold. Left heel up nice and high in 5. In 4, left heel's up in 3. In 2 and 1, left heel's up. Scoop those hips up if they've dropped ever so slightly. And let's find some pulses. Little up an inch, little down. Just a little lift and a little lower. Squeezing that core, squeezing glutes and hamstrings on the way up. Let's put that left heel down in 3. In 2 and 1, left heel's down. Slowly lower your hips, keeping that scoop of the core. As soon as your pelvis hits that mat, really scoop up and drive into your feet, feeling glutes and hamstrings lift you right back up in the air. Let's find those alternating calf raises again, pressing those shoulders into the mat and keeping your hips up nice and high, just finding a lift and lower of those heels. Probably starting to feel those glutes start to light up by now. Calves are lighting up, feeling good. Let's hold that right heel up nice and high in 3. In 2 and 1. Hold that right heel up. Make sure those hips are lifted. Squeeze that core. Little up an inch, little down, little up, little down. You're pulsing for 5, for 4, for 3, for 2, and 1. Keeping hips lifted. Right heel comes down. Slowly lower vertebrae, vertebrae for 3. For 2 and 1. Pelvis touches the mat, then exhale, scoop up, lift through that low core, feeling glutes and hamstrings come up nice and high. This time, left heel can come up, right heel comes to meet. We're going to find butterfly pulses, just drawing those outer thighs out to opposite sides of the room. Pressing those shoulder blades into the mat. See if you can draw those fingertips just ahead ever so slightly, keeping the engagement in the front of your shoulders. You're here for 5. Can you lift your hips up? You're here for 4. Squeeze that low core for 2. And for 1, knees hip width distance apart. Let's drop that left heel down. Right heel comes to meet. Slowly lower. Nice and slow, drawing your pelvis to the mat. On an inhale, let's draw that left knee in. Right knee comes to meet. You can give yourself a nice big hug here, finding a couple little rolls. We're going to tuck your feet, roll forward once, twice, 3 times, whatever you need to come forward here. And we're going to grab your ball, okay? So ball is going to go just in between your inner thighs and really squeeze it here. So it's somewhere between your pelvis and your knee. We're slowly going to roll down, finding that scooping out of the core, and we get to lay down again. Hooray for us. All right, exhale. Those legs are going to come into a tabletop position. Gorgeous. And then we're going to bring those fingertips up nice and high to the sky, pressing those shoulder blades into the mat. Nice. From here, we're going to exhale and then find a rotation in the shoulders, like you're looking at a beautiful manicure. Slight tuck to your chin. As you exhale, you're lifting up nice and slow for 4. Arms stay nice and straight for 3, for 2, and 1. At the top, draw those knees away ever so slightly from your body. You'll start to feel that shake right away. Toes stay pointed, legs are in tabletop, and then inhale, drop those shoulders down onto the mat. Now that we have the form, we can move a little quicker here. Nice big exhale, palms are coming down by your waist, and then inhale, those arms come up overhead, stopping when wrists are directly on top of your shoulders. Nice big exhale here. And then inhale, coming back down. This time, as we draw our hands by your hips, you can extend those toes out, finding that beautiful V-sit. And then inhale, coming right back down. As you come up, your exhale, really activating the lower core, your transverse abdominals, and then inhale, finding that length. Let's hold up, hands swept down by your sides in 5. In 4, hands swept up by your sides in 3. In 2. And 1. Hands sweep up by the sides, extend those legs, draw to tabletop. Extend the legs, draw to tabletop. If you'd like a little extra, fingertips can come parallel to the floor. We're gonna pulse here for 5. You're here for 4. Can you crunch up a little higher? Oh my gosh, for 3, for 2, and for 1. Legs in tabletop and slowly lower down. Give yourself a nice big breath here. I'm gonna transfer the ball to our heels this time. Legs can come up stacked with your heels directly on top of your hips and in line here. All right, fingertips can be extended up overhead and then draw them behind your head. We're gonna hold a crunch the entire time during this. So nice big exhale, peeling those shoulders off of the mat, squeezing them all. Let's lower those toes down nice and slow for 3, for 2, and for 1. Little pulse at the bottom, and then exhale, draw those toes up overhead, stopping when your heels are directly over your hips. Now, if the crunch feels like too much, you can always rest your head down, no problem. You're still getting that gorgeous work here in that lower core. Pressing, squeezing as you come up. Woo, and finding that micro pulse on the way down. Little up an inch, little down, just getting that little extra burn. We're gonna mix it up. Let's hold those toes up and overhead in 5. In 4, meet with your toes over your hips in 3, in 2, and 1. We're gonna find some obliques here, so reaching opposite wrist to opposite ankle, finding some cherry pickers here. Try to keep your shoulders up and off the mat the entire time, and maybe those legs can come just a little bit closer, really feeling that lower core beauty. All right, we're here for 3. We're gonna mix it up in 2. And 1, find neutral. Let's just reach fingertips to toes. You're here for 8, for 7, for 6. Can you come up higher for 4, for 3, for 2, and 1. Hold it up high, hands behind your head. 1 last set here, dropping, lowering those toes. Little pulse up an inch and down at the bottom, and lift coming up. Let's do 3 more just like that, really firing up that core, trying to squeeze that Pilates ball like you're trying to pop it. Woo! Let's hold down low in 5. In 4, micro pulses in 3, in 2, and 1. Just little up an inch, little down for 5, for 4, for 3, woo, let it burn for 2, and 1. Knees can come into your chest. Can grab that ball, give yourself a nice big stretch overhead. What a beautiful feeling. All right, you're gonna keep the ball here, friends. Cross your legs. Let's find those rolls one more time. 1, a 2, and a 3. We're coming into a tabletop position. We're gonna keep the Pilates ball here. We'll start with the ball just underneath your left hand. So finding a tabletop position, shoulders are just on top of your wrists, knees directly under your hips. Facing forward, really squeezing that core that we activated. Let's find an exhale, those right toes extend out. You're gonna exhale, draw those toes up, beautiful, and then extend that ball out. Inhale, draw the ball in, drop those toes down. Exhale, everything presses out. Now, if you'd like to add on to this, make this a little bit more challenging, as you extend your fingertips and toes, you can drop into that right elbow, getting a little bit of that tricep. Just being mindful, as you do that, you're still squeezing your core, no arching of that low back. Whew. Let's hold out that ball, and right toes up in 5. In 4, we're gonna pulse those right toes in 3, in 2, and 1. Left arm is extended, soft bend in the right leg. See if you can lift up those toes on the right side just a little bit, and then it's little up an inch, little down. You're here for 5. For 4, squeezing that right glute for 3, for 2, and 1. Exhale, drop those toes down. Push yourself back into a shell pose here, beauty. One last variation on this side, we're gonna find a couple of bird dogs. So extending those right toes out, we're gonna draw left elbow to your right knee, and inhale, extend everything out. Left elbow to your right knee, feeling your obliques, feeling your core. Inhale, finding that extension. Now, every time you exhale and draw knee to your elbow, really think about lifting your hips and rounding. Gaze is at your thighs. As you inhale and extend, your gaze is at the front of your mat. Let's hold those legs extended in 5, in 4, legs extended in 3, in 2, and 1. Little up an inch, little down. You're here for 5, for 4, for 3, for 2, and 1. Drop your knee down. Push back into a shell pose here. We've got another side to work. So this time that ball can come underneath your right hand. Left fingertips are coming forward. Let's find that nice, beautiful exhale here. Left toes extend out. And we're going to lift those left toes up and in line as we extend that ball. Beautiful. And then coming right back. Toes come up, extending that ball. And then dropping those toes right down to the earth. Now, if you'd like to add on that left forearm, this time compress down into the earth. Everything extends, lifting and lowering. Every time you extend, find that beautiful inhale. And every time you draw that ball back, find that exhale. Let's hold that ball extended, toes up in 5, in 4, ball extended in 3, in 2, and 1. Draw those left toes up ever so slightly. Little up an inch, little down for 5, for 4, for 3, for 2, and 1. Exhale, draw the ball in. Push yourself back into a shell pose. We're going to find that neutral position one more time. And then this time, exhale, those left toes come in line with your hip. We're going to be drawing that right elbow to your left knee. And then inhale, everything extends forward. Right elbow to your left knee, and we can draw our forearm along the ball here. So once again, tucking your chin, lifting up through those hips, feeling your center core, feeling those obliques start to light up and really rounding through the spine. As you extend everything forward, gaze is at the center of your mat. Let's hold those toes extended in 5. In 4, toes extended, we'll find some pulses in 3. In 2, and 1. Left toes extended, little up an inch, little down. You're here for 5. For 4, can you squeeze that core? No arching in that low back for 2. And for 1, inhale, drop that knee down. Push back, nice shell pose here. Beautiful work. Are we ready to stand up? We're going to pop to the top of our mat and find a little lunge series here. So you can find yourself in a tabletop position, pressing back to a downward dog and walking your toes just to your ball here. So we're going to be facing forward, feet hip-width distance apart. Let's step that left foot forward, finding that Pilates style lunge. Right toes arm behind, okay? We're pressing into that ball, squeezing it like we want to pop it, and lifting those right toes up. Exhale, elbows come out nice and wide, right toes drop down. Woo, inhale, everything extends up, lifting those right toes. Exhale, dropping it down. So nice and light on those right toes. Just touching down like a little bit of a kickstand here. Should be feeling a lot of things in that left side. Feeling glutes, hamstrings, your calf, and it's a great way to build ankle stability here as well. All right, let's hold the ball extended up and overhead in 5. In 4, balls up and overhead in 3. In 2, and 1. Right toes are up. We're going to find little pulses here. Really try to squeeze that Pilates ball like you want to pop it, and up an inch and down in those right toes for 5. For 4, we're going to add on here in 3, in 2, and 1. Beautiful. Those toes can drop down. We're going to sit nice and low in that left side. Woo, and then we're coming upright. So we're finding a lunge to a split squat here. Inhale, everything extends, and then exhale. Elbows out nice and wide, shoulders stacked directly over your hips. Woo! Coming forward with that inhale, exhale, squeezing that ball, squeezing that left glute, left hamstring. We are going to hold in this split squat position in 5. We're going to add on here in 4, in 3, in 2, and 1. Elbows out nice and wide. We're gonna find a rotation over that left leg. Exhale, and then inhale, come back to center. Exhale, finding that rotation over the left side. Inhale, back to center. We're really squeezing that core, squeezing glute and hamstring. Advanced, if you'd like to add on, left heel can lift as you rotate and then drop down as you come to center. Let's hold it, rotate it over to the left side in 5, in 4, hold it over to the left in 3, in 2, and 1. Little pulses with that left elbow. You're here for 4. Squeeze that core for 3. Can you come down lower for 2? And 1. Heel pops down, come forward. All right, we're gonna add on to this, my friends. Extend the ball up and overhead, and we're coming to a broken squat. Right toes come forward. Inhale, drawing that ball up and overhead. Exhale, everything squeezes. If you feel like your left leg is about to fall off, mine is too. It's all good. Should be shaking in that outer thigh, glute, hamstring, everything. Now, one thing that can happen in this exercise is the knees tend to buckle as we get tired. So really be mindful, you're pressing outwards, especially on that left knee. Let's hold that ball into our chest in 5. Little set of pulses here in 4, in 3, in 2, and 1. All right, we're nice and low on that left side. Little up an inch, little down. Little up and a little down, being mindful. Shoulders are ahead of your hips. Right heel is lifted. You're here for 5. We get to stretch it out in 4, in 3, in 2, and 1. Drop your right heel down, lift up, nice big stretch. Oh my gosh, good job. Let's find a nice swan dive down. And then slowly, vertebrae by vertebrae, let's drop it down. Really good job. We're gonna move to a plank series, then we'll hit that other side. On your way down, the ball can come just in between your inner thighs, and we'll make our way into a tabletop position. Now from here, forearms are going to come down onto the mat. Option to do this on your knees, or you can pop it up to your toes. We'll extend those toes out, and be mindful that your shoulders are directly over your elbows. From here, we can find some hip dips, dropping into that left side. Inhale, coming to center. Exhale, just dropping those heels off to the other side. You can pretend that you've got a beverage on your low back, being mindful that we're keeping those hips in one long line. The addition of the Pilates ball is just getting those inner thighs involved and really stabilizing your pelvic floor throughout. All right, we are gonna hold those hips off to the right side in 5, in 4, hips off to the right side in 3, 2, and 1. Let's draw that forearm so it's parallel to your mat, and we can lift up with your fingertips. Little plank hold here, just squeezing that ball, lifting up and out of that right oblique. Left fingertips can come up, or for more support, they can rest on that mat. We're here for 3, for 2, and 1. Let's find some hip dips. Little up an inch, little down, for 4, for 3, for 2, and for 1. Inhale, let's pop it back into a plank position. Exhale, let's find a pike. Gaze goes to your thighs. Inhale, popping it right back down to that forearm plank. Exhale, gaze goes up to your thighs. Inhale, dropping it right back down. Exhale, fingertips are up. Let's hold in that plank position here in 3. Meet me in a plank in 2. And 1. Let's find those hip dips here on the other side. Left hips dropping down. Inhale to center. Exhale, finding that dip on the right side. Moving with your breath here, inhaling as those hips come up, and exhaling as we're squeezing. This time we're gonna hold that left forearm in 5. In 4, left forearm's up in 3. In 2, and 1. Left forearm is up, being mindful that you've got a lot of space here between that left oblique and the mat. Right fingertips up high, being mindful shoulder is not ahead of your elbow. We're gonna hold it here for 3. We'll add those pulses in 2, and 1. Little up an inch, little down, for 5, for 4, for 3, 2, and 1. Inhale, drawing those forearms back, and then dropping back into a tabletop, pushing yourself back. We're gonna hit that right side, so you can take the ball out, and just step up to a standing position, giving yourself a nice big stretch. All right, this time, team, right foot's gonna step forward, left toes come behind. We're gonna find a nice big inhale. That Pilates ball is forward. Woo! Drawing that ball up. and then squeezing that ball in. Inhale, find that extension. Exhale, drawing those elbows out to the side. Now this side might feel a little wobbly. That's okay. We started working this side in that first set of legs, okay? So if it's feeling a little wobbly, that is okay. Let's hold that ball extended in 5. In 4, balls extended in 3. In 2, and 1. Ball is fully extended here. Nice and light in those left toes. Let's just find some pulses here. Little up an inch, little down. Let it be shaky. It's okay if you fall out of it. You're here for 5. You're here for 4. Toes drop down in 2. And 1. Toes drop down. And we're coming into that split squat position. Shoulders directly over your hips. Inhale, we're finding that length. Maybe toes peek up and off of that mat for that extra challenge. And then coming down into that squat. Woo! So feeling glutes, hamstrings. This is a lot of quad in that stationary squat. Also getting a ton of ankle stability. Core is working hard for you. Now, the more you press into that Pilates ball, more upper body and core you're getting as well. Let's hold in that stationary squat position in 5. Find those rotations in 4. In 3, meet me in that squat in 2. And 1. Stack shoulders directly over hips. Scoop, squeeze that core. We're going to rotate over to that right leg, leading with that right elbow, and inhaling, coming right back to center. Finding that exhale as you rotate. Inhaling, coming back to center. Now advanced, you can lift that right heel up. Really feeling that in the glute. Dropping your heel as you come back down. Let's hold. We're going to find pulses over in that right side in 5. Hold it over in 4, in 3, 2, and 1. Little pulses here. See if you can get just a little bit lower. Let it shake, let it burn. Right heel can be up or down. You're here for 3. You're here for 2. And 1. Inhale, bring it back to center. Beautiful. Ball comes up, and then we're squeezing, drawing that left side in. Woo! No breaks for these legs. Oh my gosh. We're getting so strong. Inhale, and then exhale. Everything squeezes together. Being mindful you're wrapping that right hip back, and then squeezing, exhaling as you draw everything in. Let's hold elbows out nice and wide. Ball to our chest in 5, in 4, in 3, in 2, and 1. Little pulses here are coming up an inch and down, really pressing, squeezing into that ball. Being mindful, shoulders are ahead of your hips. You're here for 5. You're here for 4. For 3. Can you sit lower for 2? And 1. Left heel comes down. A nice big stretch up overhead. Really good job. You're going to tuck your chin, come down, little swan dive. And then slowly give yourself a forward fold. Just releasing anything in your low back. Fingertips to opposite sides of your feet. From here, we're going to come down onto your knees. You can place the ball just in between your knees here. We're going to find a little arm series to wrap it all up. So let's squeeze the ball in between your legs. Toes are tucked, glutes are hovering over your heels. We're going to be starting with a little tricep kickback here. So elbows lock in at your side. You're extending those arms all the way. And then as you come up, woo, drawing into a bicep curl. As you come down, fingertips extend behind you, and then squeezing those fingertips to your shoulders as you come up. Now, as you extend out, squeezing shoulder blades behind your back, and then lifting, squeezing glutes and hamstrings to help you come up. Let's hold with those fingertips back in 5, in 4, fingertips back in 3, in 2, and 1. Fingertips hold out behind you. Glutes are just hovering over your heels. Relax shoulders away from the ears, and little straight arm pulse. Little up an inch, little down for 5, for 4. We're going back to that full range in 3, in 2, and 1. Squeeze, everything comes up, and everything extends out behind you. Whew. Really good. Really try to squeeze that Pilates ball, especially on your way up, finding that beautiful activation of the inner thighs. We're going to hold back again in 5, in 4, glutes over your heels in 3, in 2, and 1. Lateral pulses this time. See if you can lift those forearms just a little bit, and you're squeezing in and out. Little in, little out for 5, for 4, for 3, for 2. Squeeze those glutes, and 1. Beautiful. Give yourself a little stretch here, putting those weights down and pressing into the low back, just rounding your spine. We're gonna find a similar variation here with your shoulders this time. So making sure you're squeezing that ball. You've got your glutes hovering over your heels. Palms can face each other here with the dumbbells. We'll draw up to 90 degrees and then out to the side. Whew. As you extend up, you're squeezing your glutes, pressing fingertips forward. And then as you come down, glutes hover over your heels, elbows out to the side. Relaxing those shoulders down your back, locking them into your lats. A lot of things working for you right now. The hinge forward is challenging to our stability, giving a lot of core engagement. Pilates ball, we're working those glutes, hamstrings, and your inner thighs. And we're working the tops of your shoulders and the backs of your shoulders with the shoulder press. We are gonna hold to 90 in 5. In 4, hold those arms to 90 in 3. In 2, and 1. Keep the right where it is. Extend the left. Exhale, draw it back. Extend left forward. Exhale, draw it back. Left is forward. And right stays exactly where it is. Let's hold that left arm forward in 3. In 2. And 1. Left arm forward. Just little pulses up and inch and down in that right side. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze that glute. You're here for 3. For 2. And 1, left elbow comes back. It's gonna stay there. Right elbow extends forward and then drawing back to 90. See if you can relax those shoulders down your back and hover those glutes over your heels. We're gonna hold those right fingertips forward in 5, in 4, in 3, in 2, and 1. Right fingertips forward, relax that left shoulder, little up an inch, little down. For 3, for 2, hold on to it. For 1, extend both, draw back, find that 90 degree, a well-earned stretch back here. Finding that shell pose, just pressing into your low back and giving yourself a nice little side to side rotation. So good. Couple things left here, friends. Just gonna end with some core, then we get to lie down and stretch. We'll take that Pilates ball, place it in the small of your back, and you can use 1 set of weights or 2. We're gonna hinge backwards, scooping out from the core. Find an exhale, draw those left toes up into tabletop, right toes come to join. We're gonna find another set of rotations here. Right elbow to your left knee, leading with that left elbow, right toes extend. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, this time left elbow to your right knee, left toes extend. Inhale, back to center. Essentially finding some bicycles here with a little hinge backwards. Now that we know the move, we can pick up the pace just a little bit. Elbow to knee, inhale, elbow to knee, exhale. Inhaling through center, wrapping those shoulders down your back. Woo, we're gonna find some pulses here. Right elbow to your left knee in 3, in 2, and 1. Hold it here, up an inch and down on those right toes. For 5, for 4, for 3, we're gonna do the other side in 2, and 1. Inhale to tabletop, extend that left leg out, little up an inch, little down. For 5, for 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, come to center. Give yourself a nice little rounding here. Whew. You can move those weights off to the side. And we're finally in our stretch mode, my favorite part of the class. So let's find ourselves into a tabletop position. Knees can come out nice and wide. We're gonna do a little stretching of the inner thighs. So fingertips come forward. You can rest your head on the mat and just allow yourself the rhythm of your own breath. Just working on slowing down your heartbeat and coming back to your breath. See if you can press into your fingertips just a little bit more, creating some space, not only for your hips to stretch, but feeling the elongation of your arm all the way from fingertip to shoulder. On an exhale, we can draw those fingertips over to the left side. If it feels okay and you have the mobility in your body, right fingertips can rest on top, and you can push back, finding an opening in your right side body. Stay here for an inhale and an exhale. On your next exhale, you can walk your fingertips back to center. Reset here for another inhale and an exhale. Be so proud of what your body has worked with you to do today. So exciting. Always a mental battle to get through some of these workouts, but all of it is such good practice. On your next exhale, let's walk fingertips over to your right side. Left fingertips can rest on top, finding an opening in your left side body this time. As you're here, see if you can find some release, either in your jaw, between your eyebrows, maybe your tongue, wherever you hold tension. And feel that gorgeous release in that left side body. Stay here for one more breath, and then let's walk it back to center. Give yourself one more big stretch here. And think of one really kind thing you can say about yourself, a nice compliment from this workout. It's easy to beat ourselves up if we're feeling weak, but let's be in the practice of building ourselves up, feeling nice and strong, and so powerful with what our bodies can do. Thank you, friends, so much for working out with me today. We'll see you soon.